matchup that you can pressure with and shut down the Cruel with. Because if they don't, Cruel with G2, especially because they have multiple hyper carries that they can choose from. The Baron, now that is taken away, they still have the Celeste that they can go for. Mousesports, instead, they say we're going to go for the Baron, maybe last pick Rhyme, but take away the Baron from Hundor.
We saw what can happen to Baron players against Hundor yesterday. Baron, 100% win rate, apparently. That's definitely not accurate. We saw it lose yesterday. But Hundor, on the Celeste, absolutely destroyed a Baron yesterday.
Yeah, it's definitely a pick that, it's one of those situations where when someone is so profoundly known for playing a certain pick, they know how to play against it. And so that's the situation with Hundor. Yes, he's a phenomenal Baron pick. It makes sense to try and take it away from him, but he also knows how to play against it. So it'll be interesting to see, especially if, you know, maybe there's that situation where Leon takes the Baron up into the lane to play against Hundor. You get that little bit of that friendly rivalry between those two going on. Would be really interesting to see. It is going to be that Celeste once again for Hundor, though. That seems to be his answer to the Baron pick.
Churnwalker would be exciting, typically.
I mean, it works well against Baron because he's very mobile. I don't know how confident G2 are in that pick, though.
It would be a controversial one. It's one we've not seen here in Europe just yet. I would love to see it come out. I've been talking about that all of yesterday. It's going to be a Finn locked in, though, making sure that they can protect this Celeste and also have that triple CC composition.
I would love to see Rhyme come out here just because, especially since they picked the Finn, that's a lot of immobility coming out from the G2 side. So if Finn is in the lane, you can easily invade and try to shut down the Cruel with Rhyme.
Yeah, there's definitely an option. You can also just, you build up your fortified health extremely easily because Finn is not going to be able to dodge out those Winter Spires very well at all. So there's a lot of definitely potential for a Rhyme pick here. But it is going to be a Koshka. They're going to try and just win this early and just snowball that early game advantage up into the lane to get this Baron accelerated. You know, we talked about yesterday, the two of us we kind of had a little bit of disagreement. I want to clarify what I said. When I said that Baron is a little bit stronger, a little bit earlier than Celeste, it's the tension bow spike. When Baron gets the tension bow, at that moment, until Celeste hits level 8, Baron is stronger. Celeste then gets her power spike at the level 8 mark, and then late game, it just becomes kind of who gets the first shot off. But they really are, I think, are going to be focusing on trying to get this Baron to that first item power spike as quickly as possible.
All right, Zara, how are you expecting this game to play out here?
I don't really like the Koshka pick. I mean, it serves the same purpose in that they want to play aggressive and snowball. The only thing, Cruel shuts down Koshka better. He's a better counter into her than into Rhyme. I would have liked to see Rhyme instead. However, it's still going to be an aggressive early game compositions. And if Mousesports are able to snowball, they will win. I do expect G2 to be able to hold off, however.
All right, well, it's time to get on into this game. It's time to get online on Twitter as well. Let us know who you are supporting. It's Mousesports going up against G2. Hashtag Vainglory to let us know who you want to go into the final against SK. Well, let's pass it back over to Medic and Scoundrel to get into semi-final number 2.
Thank you very much, Munch. I am Medic. I'm joined by Scoundrel, and we are into the second semi-final of the day. And I'm the Doom is a very brave man to play Baron into Hundor here. Hundor, obviously so well known for his Baron and for his Celeste. We saw him play incredibly well on this very hero yesterday, Scoundrel.
Well, we saw him play very well into a Baron. Absolutely decimated a Baron on his Celeste yesterday. So, whilst I think, you know, Baron definitely can spike earlier with the tension bow. Definitely in the late game, it comes down to how well you're placing those heliogenesis, how hard you're making it for Baron to position, to find those jumps, to find his burst in the backline. So, you know, Hundor has shown that he's capable of doing, shown that he's capable of playing like that. And if he can get towards that late game, expect him to know exactly how to play into I'm the Doom. But this is a lot stronger opposition, you would argue, than I think G2 had to face up yesterday. You know, Mousesports right now, probably the strongest that they have been in quite a while, especially with the addition of Leon. So I don't think it will be as easy as yesterday.
Leon on that jungle role once again. We saw him play Rome yesterday actually on the Lance, but comfortable playing the jungle this time. G2 did the front to back start, so they were able to get the Elder Trio, but Leon invading for this back healer camp will actually be able to steal it away as well. Dark Potato struggling a little bit there to get the final secure. Now Justman is not in the best of positions, but with the Vanguard will slow up G2, and it's a good early invade for Mousesports.
Yeah, they get at least something from that invade. A single backsteal is not a bad result at all. Could have gone a lot worse for G2. Maybe could have gone a lot better, but you still take a minor advantage where you can get it. Leon is actually going to avoid his backs, maybe rotate from Elder Treant backwards, expecting potentially Dark Potato to head towards that lane or be a bit slower on the rotate. And that's actually very clever from Leon. He's responding to the initial move from G2 and is going to rotate in to out as the way that the G2 lineup started, which is going to guarantee him another advantage with his Elder Treant take.
Trying to run and get that healer as well, but wasn't quite able to get there in time. Dark Potato meets the face check of Leon, trying to trade straight into the Koshka early on. Good quibble there onto Leon as well. He has to use the healing flask. There's a lot of stacks, but the Spectrus might not quite able to kill the cat, and now Justman will be retreating away from Keanu once again. Hundor's doing a good job of pushing out the lane, then rotating back towards this jungle to try and make sure that they have a little bit more safety, but still Leon and Justman able to steal away a couple of those front camps.
Yeah, they were able to read Leon's aggressive move there. Dark Potato was ready for it. He stacked up, and Leon able to escape. He did a really nice job of utilizing vision there, did Leon, and obviously using the movement speed of Koshka to forge his escape out of the jungle. But realistically, G2 are kind of matching Leon's aggression here. You kind of expect, as a Koshka, that you're going to be getting a lot of early aggression off. You're going to be getting huge advantages from that early aggression, but G2 are matching it. You know, they're able to read that aggression from Leon and are trying to respond to it. And Leon's not done just yet, although sees that forward Treant go down to Dark Potato, realizes he might be a little bit too late, and will just settle with securing another Elder Treant from Mousesports.
Both these teams fighting for those the top spot, the #1 European seed, the only European seed to Worlds. G2 in a good spot for it at the moment, sitting second fiddle to SK. Will be wanting to get to the final and then beat out SK to secure the maximum points from this week. But Mousesports are quite a long way behind, so they really need to be winning these games early on in the split, because otherwise they will just fall out of contention for that #1 seed pretty rapidly, as SK do not look like they are stopping their ascension anytime soon.
Absolutely not. SK looking fantastic, and I think G2 and Mousesports are in a good position to try and combat that. I think they're both two incredibly gifted teams. I think they're obviously only G2 realistically are the team that's in position to try and contend for the world spots, though. So, you know, I think if anybody you'd want to see G2 really step it up against a team that has found newfound mechanical prowess, newfound potential, I guess you could say, with the addition of Leon. And G2, if they were to win this series convincingly, SK definitely would have something to worry about going into the final today, Medic.
So how do you win this game specifically? If you're G2, are you waiting for later game? Are you waiting to get that Krull and that Celeste to full build so they can just, you know, pound down damage with the Helios and get those weakness stacks up, or do you want to do something earlier on in this matchup?
I think realistic, both teams are going to want to sort of wait for late game spikes. When you say win convincingly, a lot of it is coming from just not losing early. Leon, you know, he's working towards his aftershock. He's level 6 very, very soon. No reflex blocks yet up for Hundor, who was one of those key targets for the Yummy Catnip Frenzy. So, you know, he could look to start to accelerate post level 6. That's especially where Koshka's power spike comes through, just walks into lane and tries to guarantee herself a kill with the use of that ultimate. But Dark Potato is pretty similar. You know, they both want to make an impact mid to early, especially Cruel. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to late game team fight prowess. You know, how well these teams work as a mechanical late game team fighting machine. Because both of them kind of want to achieve mid game dominance. And if both teams are trying to evenly achieve mid game dominance, you're not going to see either team run away with it unless mistakes are made.
Yeah. Carries on both teams are now at that level 6 marks. Leon's going to jump back in towards Dark Potato, who goes straight onto I'm the Doom. From Hell's Heart lands, but it actually connects onto Justman, so he's safe for the time being. There's the Iron Cannon in response. Keanu tried to turn this one back around in favor of G2. Leon so low. There's the Solar Storm as well, but the Fountain heals them up, and now Dark Potato is in a little bit of trouble as Justman pushes forward once again. Mouse able to get out of the back of the fight, but not quite as convincing in that battle as they would hope to be.
Yeah, I'm the Doom only sitting on a Sorrow Blade right now. He jumps in. Got that double basic attack, Hundor.
Every time I see that double basic from the heroic poke, it's just like, oh, well, no, from the jump jet, sorry, that's a lot of damage that comes out from the Baron very quickly.
You can see Fortified Health from doing a good job of soaking up some of that damage. Remember, it takes almost double the damage to deal with Fortified Health on a specific carry. So if you can get that onto Hundo, it's going to give him that cushion against that burst damage from the Baron. Maybe Mousesports will look to out-rotate here. I think actually G2 should be able to respond pretty quickly, however, as Hundo makes his way back to lane.
Yeah, Dark Potato's only 7 seconds away from having the From Hell's Heart. It's just about to come back up, and Justman's actually caught out by this. They're trying to run away. Leon there low as well. Dark Potato holds on to the boomerang, decides not to chuck a surfboard in anyone's face for the time being, but G2 were able to defend and now can look at putting some pressure back for themselves. The Shatter Glass completed onto Hundo means those double Helios, those Supernovas on the turret will do a lot of work. The stun, the core collapse, the second stun comes out and that's a kill straight onto the face of Justman. Good play from G2.
Yeah, now they're going to start the siege of their own. They almost got caught out. I actually almost think that Mousesports might have been able to linger Leon a bit longer there with that movement speed and actually search for that first turret. It was a good move by Mouse to focus their attention in the lane once G2 had gone to the jungle shop and Hundo had backed off, but a great response from G2 nonetheless. Again, like, what I really want to see from teams, and it's something that the European teams don't do as well as North American teams, is just that, you know, focusing on objectives once you picked up a kill there. You know, they didn't push that turret very hard. They didn't try and take a gold miner because they didn't feel confident enough. It's been a very slow-paced game for most teams over the course of this weekend in terms of objectives. There's the
Force to caught onto I'm the Doom is great. He jump jets back out of it. Leon's down to about half HP. He's so low, trying to keep himself alive, but just can't do it. No fountain coming out from Justman either, as that's still on cooldown. I'm the Doom jumping away. Another Helio hits him in the back, but can't quite bring the power of the stars down upon him. And G2 once again get their second kill of the game and can look towards this turret. Tension bow completed by I'm the Dune, but alongside the Sorrow Blade, he needs to be able to get those orders down in fights. They've already lost the first turret, and they are 2,000 gold behind.
Just as I talk about not capitalizing on an object, they get the first turret of the game, and also Dark Potato on this call has already started up this gold miner. He should be able to smite this down with the Supernova. There should be no worries of Mousesports taking this one away from them. Ooh, very, very close nonetheless. They might get caught out here as they all back. This is going to be a quick push from Mousesports. They're trying to get that first turret down for themselves, but Dark Potato makes a very quick rotation up and holds the waves. G2 responding so well. Where's the engage?
Jumping from Leon, the knockback as well. There's the Solar Storm. That cat trying to do a lot of work. Leon still dodging around the side of the fight. A good gauntlet as well. Separates out G2 as I'm the Doom now needs to be that front man. Justman is so low and he will fall. And even when Mousesports take the engage they want, they can't get these kills. Leon just not quite enough damage to take down the members of G2. We'll be able to steal away a couple of these camps, but Hundo and Dark Potato are on the prowl to catch out the Predator. Leon trying to dodge his way away, but a great core collapse will get them the kill. And it's 4 kills to nil in favor of G2.
Yeah, but they do trade a turret for chasing Leon there. So actually say that there was a good return on investment for Mousesports. After losing the fight, they actually get a global objective from it, which is going to net them that global gold. I always want to keep your eyes on Hundo and the way that he uses his heliogenesis in fights. One of the great things about heliogenesis is by leaving a heliogenesis on the floor, it always offers a threat of a position in the map where you probably can't walk because of the threat of a supernova. The way that Hundo played that is when Leon jumped past him and used, obviously, his movement speed to try and find a flanking position to threaten Hundo. Hundo closed off the choke point with a heliogenesis and said to Leon, if you want to jump back in on me, so that I can't then focus Justman and I'm the Doom, you have to walk through an area where I could hit you with a massive heliogenesis. And it's something that Hundo does so well. It's just control of spaces of the map. Another engage by Dark Potato.
Stay onto Leon. He's 2 levels ahead, but a great stun with it from Hell's Heart, and Leon has to run away. Justman down to half as well. A great force to caught is blocked by I'm the Doom, but you can't block the force of the sun as the Solar Storm gets the kill. G2 5 kills to nil up now, and Mousesports are reeling at every possible opportunity. Justman goes straight into the face of Keanu. And like company will bring them back to Crystal Sentry joining up this fight as well, but that turret is already going to fall. And G2 get their second of the game. Leon just not able to answer this unrelenting pressure from G2.
It's really interesting because obviously we expected Leon to be aggressive on this pick, and he has been. He's been aggressive enough. He's taken a lot of lane farm. He's invested a lot of resources into his own right, and you can see that in the difference of farm between I'm the Doom and Hundo, by the way, and the difference in farm between Dark Potato and Leon. You might just say, whoa, Leon's massively out-jungled Dark Potato, but Leon's actually zapped so many resources from I'm the Doom specifically. He's pushed the lane when the lane's been there. I'm the Doom is so far behind on farm because Leon has actually been taking that for himself. And if I were Mousesports, I'd be saying, Leon, stop. Like, our win condition now is you're not the win condition anymore. Koshka is not the win condition. This is 11 minutes into the game. You didn't get a big enough early advantage because G2 tempered it so well. As I say that, Leon jumps in.
Yeah, jumps straight in, will get stunned up. Hundor stunned as well, just ran on that front line. Underdoon trying to do what he can from the side. Leon having to dodge around. Underdoon jumps in onto Hundor, but can't get the kill in time. And eventually he will fall. Leon gets an exchange though. It's actually Justman who secures that kill in the end. It's Dark Potato and Keanu chasing onto Justman. Leon's going to jump back on towards the Krull, but those weakness stacks are smiting down Justman as well. A good force accord on to the Koshka will pull him back. But Leon does have that extra movement speed and can just dodge away at the side of this fight.
And you can see, you know, the way that Leon's playing, he is saying, I can jump in, I can deal the damage to Hundor that is necessary to him, but it just isn't there right now. The fortified health from Keanu is so good at preventing some burst damage going on to Hundor. Dark Potato is also getting weakness stacks down onto the right targets. And as I said previously, Iron the Doom is so far behind. He's almost 40 CS down to Hundor. He's really quite far behind in terms of 3 items compared to Hundor specifically. And we're at the stage in the game now where Baron is your win condition. This guy that is supposed to be a late powerhouse is your win condition now. And I just feel like Mousesports haven't played around that, you know, well enough. I think at this point it's still, I'm playing the Leon train and Leon's going to go mental on this Koshka, but it just hasn't happened. Leon hasn't been aggressive enough and G2 tempered that early aggression really well. And I don't know, this is one of those things where you feel that when Leon's on a team, sometimes teams come to this situation where it's he's the mastermind. You play around him, he's the guy that's going to carry you. Whereas you just notice how well G play as a team. It's not about an individual player for G2. They play to their win conditions far better. And you're just seeing that in this game. Obviously, things can still go wrong for G2, but as of yet, they're still playing like their win condition.
They do have a 5,000 gold lead as well. Dark Potato's finished a Poison Shiv alongside the Breaking Point, so he's pretty darn devastating on this Krull. Hundor at 3 completed items, almost at 4. He's got the Clockwork, the Eve, and the Shatterglass. Well, I mean, if you include the Aegis, he is at 4. I only look at damage, Excalibur. I don't look at other items. Who cares about defensive stats? It's all about how much damage you have. What do we expect next from him? Were we looking towards a Broken Myth with that Piercing Shard?
Yeah, I mean, there isn't anything else that he could go to. So I think yeah,
hey,
Broken Myth.
I was setting you up for brilliance again, Excalibur. Sometimes you have to be like, yeah, man.
You're making it so that I am definitely Mr. Captain Obvious of this cast.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's going to be Broken Myth for Hundor. He's a little bit fit right now. I think the Aegis was a great pickup given how much resources gone into Leon. So the more you can shut Leon down with your item build, the better it is for you. So I think that was a really clever build from Hundor, prioritizing that over his 4 damage items. Iron the Doom's now got his Tyrant's Monocle. That's not a bad item for him. He needs just 1 more to come online on his full item build. I'm wondering whether he's going to go for the Tornado Trigger just to have the extra attack speed, or he's going to look for the flat burst of just having another Tyrant's Monocle in tow.
Dark Potato is looking for the engage at the moment. It's Justman there on the front line. They're unable to find exactly the avenue they want into this fight. And actually that gold lead is still only 4,000 here for G2. They do have a strong late game, but Iron the Doom is starting to scale up. He's at 3 items himself. Does have that minions foot, as you say, building up towards whatever critical strike item he wants next. Hundor's just zoning away. You talked about this zoning Helio that you can use just to force Mouse on the back foot. That's exactly what he's doing. Mousesports just trying to find a way up towards the top side of the lane to see if perhaps they can catch out a member of G2. It's a very tense moment for both these two teams, fighting for the right to face SK Gaming in the finals of Week 1 of Split 2 here in the VG8.
Now with the Kraken up, it starts to draw teams into teamfight 60 situations. I give credit to Leon where credit is due. He is the master of knowing when to last hit jungle camps.
Yeah, he's really good at securing camps. He is so...
He's every time he's been involved in a jungle camp duel, he's always come away on top. So credit where credit is due. He's very, very good at that. Keanu's working towards his... Oh, by the way, look at this though, Dark Potato. They're just soloing Kraken, but there is the scout
Mouse don't
trap.
know this is happening. They've just realized Justman's there trying to steal it away.
Oh my god, what the hell?
Holy hell! Justman with the hero play there for Mouse. Dark Potato forced back as he jumps straight onto the face of Baron. Leon trying to get onto Hundor as well. The Solar Storm won't quite he hasn't actually used it. Sorry, it's the Core Collapse that he used, but that is a Kraken taken away. I'm the Doom has died. Leon trying to dodge away from this as well. And Mousesports have been able to delay this game. Dark Potato picked up 2 kills in this fight. He's looking for Leon as well for that ace. But the Kraken has delayed the game for Mouse and given perhaps a slight glimmer of hope. Still, Leon's trying to dodge his way around. The Crystal Sentry helping out. There's the Solar Storm. There's the kill. There's the ace. But with that Kraken, Mousesports are still alive in this game.
Okay. People said that the blood for blood changes for Arden weren't that big of a deal. I beg to differ. The fist of fury from Arden, he literally just walked up and hit the Kraken and stole it. That's got to be the most chilled out way that I've ever seen anybody steal a Kraken.
It's the Mousesports buff, mate. It's not only Leon that can last hit. If you play for Mousesports, you can last hit any jungle camp you want. That's just the buff they get. It's their inherent perk. If you play for G2, you can play Baron really well. That's another rule for them. Each team has this specific bonus.
Okay, I got you. I think realistically, whilst the steal was good, it just delayed the game. Maybe delaying the game is what Mousesports needed, though, to get to that 4th item for I'm the Doom. I mean, you are at the full item build almost for Hondor right now, so he's equally as devastating as the Baron, but it delayed the game, which has been maybe the time that they needed to get Baron towards equal pegging to Hondor. So maybe that is their way back into this game, just by delaying it ever so slightly. But they didn't get much off the Kraken. I mean, they didn't even get a single turret, I don't think, there, Medic. I think they still have that second turret remaining in the lane, so they didn't even get a single turret. So it's actually just a bit of a gold bounty for G2, but they must be frustrated with you.
I think you take it. Like, if you're Mousesports and you can take that Kraken when it would look like you've just been outplayed because you didn't know what was going on until Just Man checked, you take the steal even if you lose out on the gold trade at the end of it. Mousesports have been able to delay just that little bit further. I'm the Doom now has that double Tyrant's monocle, so he will crit absolutely humongous amounts if he can get on towards that backline of Hondor. The problem is he has to get through Dark Potato and Keanu to actually get there, so very much on G2 to make a mistake more than Mouse to make the big outplay at the moment. Look at the damage onto that turret as well. Those Helios, 636 damage from the Supernovas, almost take it out. Through the shield to take down the turret, and they'll take the Crystal Sentry as well. Mousesports need to find an engage soon, because otherwise you have to think the game is done. There's the Gauntlet jumping in. Leon onto Hundle, gets caught up in the core collapse, and there's the stun coming out from the Yummy Cabinet Frenzy. I'm the Doom trying to get onto Hundle. They've already got the kill, and now it's Dark Potato and Keanu trying to defend 2 members of G2 against 3 of Mouse. Already the Finns falling. It's only up to Dark Potato, but what a great fight from Mousesports. And I said they needed an engage, and Just Man did just that.
What an engage from Just Man. Leon followed up on it so well. He's picked up the Eve of Harvest. He's got a very aggressive jungle Koshka build. This is pretty much the standard, but you don't often get there this quickly. You often like to pick up a little bit of defensive itemization. Leon has said, don't need much. Tier 2 shielding is enough. I'm going to go super aggressive with all this gold that I've got and try and put pressure onto Honda on the backline. And they're going to get the Kraken off the back of his. Doom also picked up that Turret's Monocle, a key item spike that maybe he wouldn't have had the opportunity to pick up if they hadn't stolen that previous Kraken. Maybe Just Man has found that magic to get them back into this game. That Kraken steal followed by what you said was an incredible engage to put pressure onto Hundor. G2 must be left reeling as another Kraken goes the way of Mousesports.
G2s do still have the gold advantage. They do still have this 5-item Dark Potato, a 5-item Hundo as well. Almost basically 6 items on him. He's just upgraded those Halcyon charges, so he is at full build on this Celeste. They have the tools they need to win these fights, but all of the momentum, all of the tempo is in favor of Mouse. There's the Gauntlet blocked out by the Crucible. Here's the Iron Cannon as well. Leon jumps onto Hundo, gets a second block, and Hundo will be able to get back to base. Here comes the Boomerang from Hell's Heart straight to the face of Just Man, up towards the top side of the fight. The Solar Storm's used as well. Hundo's still trying to defend. Dark Potato and Keanu will get back to the fountain to heal themselves up, but Mouse are not giving up yet with the Kraken pushing in. They're going for these turrets. The first crystal turret will fall. Dark Potato jumps all the way onto Hundo, who has to jump across the wall. It's actually I'm the Doom. I'm so used to seeing Baron as Hundo. It's I'm the Doom jumping away, and now Mousesports will try to engage.
What a core collapse!
The core collapse stuns up Leon as he jumped in, and the Kraken is going to be able to get that turret. A great force accord pulls back Just Man, and 2 members of Mouse look likely to fall in this fight. The Kraken just about died as the turret falls there. Justman chased away by Dark Potato and Keanu eventually will fall to the Spectral Smite. You have to feel, although with a good Vanguard, he is going to be able to get away for just the time being. Baron's jumped across the wall. I'm the Doom's in the base. I'm the Doom's going for this with the Porcupine. Mortar's trying to take the win. The backs have come out. The Finn is there. But I'm the Doom with the jump jet. With the
he's going to get it. He's going to get it.
And Mousesports defeat G2 in a monumental comeback.
I didn't think that Kraken Steel was going to be as influential as it was, but it bought time for Mousesports to get I'm the Doom to his full item build. He found the resources necessary, and unbelievable for I'm the Doom to just make that decision on such low HP. It was